Hello and welcome back. We are having Euro dollar update. But before we're going to look at that, if anyone wants to join us, just simply head to the wave-trader.com. So let's move. So we were expecting Euro to, ahead of the US inflation report, a kind of neutral analysis. We had that in that video analysis. Yeah. So I was, saying that we watch the price action and trade accordingly. So we had a price action for the downside. Inflation numbers were not, inflation numbers did not surprise to the downside. Yeah, so close to the prediction. So after that, we have seen some strength on the dollar. We were expecting dollar to drop after having surprise move in the inflation to the downside. So let's look at that. And then we're going to talk about what we can expect from the euro. So let's look at this. That's why higher, higher inflation numbers can push the dollar higher. Okay, and then we may see another leg lower all the way back to this previous low. All right, or these areas. So what you are simply looking for, okay, price already bounced from this area. You are only expecting it to sharp break up. Okay, as the sharp breakup comes, then continue to keep pushing more higher. So I wouldn't suggest you to chase that area. Okay, if it goes, you already, you're supposed to be into the trade from these areas. So if you're gonna get into this area, you have to be really good on lower time frame to chase that trade. Okay, so what you are watching, in case if you don't see, drop if inflation is going to pick up, then simply you are watching price action at this area and this one more leg lower or all the way back to this low. So we still may see another leg higher. So this is for short term only, okay? But we are expecting a bigger daily correction to break up, as if you remember our previous video analysis, that we're expecting euro to go higher and dollar to go down. So, but we can see that the euro went into a sideways market over there, right? And we were expecting small legs lower within that sideways market, at least up to this area, but we haven't got that. So simply on daily time frame, we are setting up for that correction to break up. But we still, as I said, we still can see, we cannot rule out. The structure is clearly showing, okay, this structure, these arrows are clearly showing that we still can see another leg lower. All right, we cannot rule out that one more leg lower. So you need to watch price action over there at this area very closely to trade on the euro after the CPI numbers. Okay, there you can see that. So if we see that the inflation is going to pick up, then you're watching nice sell-off over there, and this one more drop all the way back to that low. Numbers are going to drop sharply, then simply break out, correct, and continue to keep pushing more higher all the way back to that daily highs. Okay, so the inflation, if we're going to look at the inflation report, so inflation report slightly ticked up last week. So if I'm going to go back to the previous week and look at the US inflation, there we can see that even the PPI numbers ticked up, all right? So, picked up. The PPI inflation also picked up. PPI numbers. So there we can see that the projection was at 3.3, while the numbers came 3.2. Yeah, so in line with the projection, we can say that, but ticked up, from the previous month. So the previous month was 3.0, and for the previous inflation numbers were 3.0, and the recent actual numbers were 3.2, and slightly close to the prediction, so which caused the dollar to gain. Yeah, so that caused the dollar to gain. So the idea for inflation acceleration is simply dead, though, right? So we are not having huge surprise in the inflation for upside, but we have seen some slowdown in inflation, which caused that one more leg lower to appear. All right, the one more leg which I was talking about in my previous video analysis. All right, so what you are simply looking for. So if I'm going to look at that daily time frame, all right, so it seems that the dollar, the euro has made its bullish move. All right, so we may not see big run on the euro for more upside. Okay, I mean, big run means that I don't see that the euro is going up to 120 or 125, something like that kind of numbers. So what we are simply looking for, the momentum, which is just being lost over there. Okay, so if I'm going to look at the MACD is telling us that the momentum is shifting to the downside, very much similar like this previous one, right? So we had that momentum shift over there when we were looking for sell on the euro from that top. Okay, if I'm going to go and look at that chart, and we have seen divergence was just appearing over there, or momentum was losing over there on euro dollar at that top, and then we got a big run to the downside on the euro against the dollar. All right, so we had that move all the way up to 195, yeah, so below 1. So similarly, we may not see more upside on the euro for euro to go all the way up to 125, or even at least 120. Yeah, so we may not see big run over there at the moment. Okay, we may see slight drop over there on the euro all the way back to within these areas. Okay, so 102, 103, or even 104 is may be tested, and the reason is very much simple, and the reason is that the dollar is gaining simply. All right, so for a while there might be a the Fed policy may not give strength to the dollar. All right, the Fed, Fed may hold for a while, before cutting the interest rate, so which can cause the dollar to stay stronger for a while, right? And the other thing is that the slowdown. So if we are going to see significant slowdown, that can cause the dollar to stay strong for a while, okay, rather than dollar to drop for longer term because of the policy change, which market is expecting from the Fed to come, rate cut simply. So, and the other reason is that the risk on currencies are not doing really good. Okay, so specifically the New Zealand dollar, which is just simply struggling against the dollar, and suggesting the divergence which has just appeared over there between the euro and the dollar, between the euro and the New Zealand dollar. So we can see clearly can see that the euro was pushing higher while the New Zealand dollar is pushing lower against the dollar. Okay, and the weaknesses on the New Zealand dollar is suggesting that we may not see more upside, more strength on the euro dollar. Okay, and we may see quick catch up move on the euro, like towards the New Zealand dollar. That's why we are bullish on the New Zealand dollar against the dollar, and bearish from the top on the euro. But there is still a chance that this gap still can get wider. All right, this gap still can get wider. Okay, so euro can go back up to that top, and New Zealand dollar slightly can drag lower, something like that. So that's why we're going to stay, bearish on the euro from the top. But still, there is a still possibility for this one more up leg on the euro. The gap still can get more wider because of the significant slowdown in New Zealand and other, in like Australia. But we are not having that significant slowdown yet in the Europe. All right, the inflation is still still strong. So policy change is between the Reserve Bank of New Zealand and ECB is causing that divergence. So let's look at the lower time frame. We were expecting one more leg lower, possibly after the CPI numbers. Yeah, so that leg is just simply happening over there. So there is still a chance that the euro still can keep dragging lower all the way back to this area. All right, and then we may see some buying over there for short term like this. Okay, and go all the way back to that high. So what you are actually looking for, you are not looking this move. Okay, you are not looking, you should be into that trade from that high. Okay, after the CPI numbers, you should be into that. You shouldn't chase this trade from this area. So what you are looking, basically you are trying to counter the move for short term. All right, so once price gonna tag that, you are looking for short term move, bounce off and go back. First of all, counter short term counter move, and if it bounce off very aggressively, then go all the way back to this high. Yeah, and looking for this to go all the way back to that high and then drop. Yeah, that's what you're looking for, short term counter trend move. And if it's growing, then you are looking to grow all the way back to this area. And if it's even going beyond this, then keep growing all the way back to that high, and then again from sell from this area. All right, if you don't see that counter trend move, okay, and euro keeps dragging lower, so I would suggest you to just stay away. Don't trade this move. Okay, let that go. You already missed that move from there. We were expecting euro to drop, specifically after the drop we had on pound. So we were expecting euro to drop because euro was holding the trend, this trend which is just trying to emerge over there to the downside. Yeah, there we can see that the euro was holding that trend, and and you know, started to drag lower. So you should be into that trade from there. So you shouldn't chase this trade from there from more downside. Okay, if it keeps dragging lower, let that go. We'll see if we're gonna have another correction over there for downside. We'll see how to trade on that move later on. But you don't have that trade. All right, you don't have more downsides. You only can counter that. Okay, and if it does well, then let that go higher all the way. So why counter that? Okay, because price is just simply falling within the daily trend. Okay, and that daily trend can hold. Right, this daily trend was just trying to merge already. That daily trend can hold, and price can, you know, struggle to break below within these areas. So you are looking this to I mean, as shown on the lower time frame for short term, and in case if it goes back on, then all the way. But yes, remember this bigger structure. Okay, we are having, you know, divergence, and momentum is losing for more upside. Okay, and we may see breakdown of this wedge to the downside, as I have just shown you my old chart on the weekly time frame. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so we'll update on lower time frame. You are looking actually to price to just, you know, stay within these sideways market. All right, within that sideways market for a while, within these boxes. And if it breaks down for more downside, all right, then this previous low to hold, and counter trend, short term counter trend move. Okay, thank you.